Hello and welcome back to the channel. In this video we're gonna be looking at Star Wars The Black Series Darth Maul from the Clone Wars. Now this is the Black Series Darth Maul that I was looking forward to for such a long time because I pre-ordered this guy back in 2022 and as you can see I waited all this time to finally get him for my collection. And first impressions, I have to say, for me this is the best Black Series Darth Maul to date. I love this version of Darth Maul. I love the outfit, I love the design, I love the series out of which this version of Maul comes. This is such a phenomenal figure. But now I will stop gushing and we will go step by step through this review. Let's start with the box. It is the standard Galaxy packaging that we used to in the Black Series line. This is number 11 from Star Wars The Clone Wars line. Here in the back we have the illustration of Darth Maul, a bio, and here on the side is that same artwork that we saw in the back, and behind Darth Maul here we can see the Mandalore throne. This is a window box. Before Hasbro went over to windowless packaging, and now let's take a look at our Darth Maul here. This head sculpt is fantastic. I mean, he has those Sith eyes and the grinning teeth. I feel like his horns are sharper than on any other Hasbro release and they look really good. They have that bone color on them and the face is painted beautifully. I don't see any imperfections and look how good this looks. So menacing, and you can get a lot of attitude when you put the head down like this or even like this to the side, you know. I'm really loving the way that Hasbro made the head for this figure. And then for his outfit, this is an overlay. It's a softer plastic and so it gets out of the way. We have his belt and it is beautifully sculpted and painted, and the colors are vibrant. They are almost shiny looking, and we can see all around we have that beautiful silver paint on the belt. These straps and the tunic are connected here in the back. This is all plastic, but it's short enough so that it doesn't hinder the articulation. We have these shoulder pads that are connected to the loop on the inside of the butterfly joint so that when you rotate the arm, they don't get in the way, they rotate with the arm, they don't hinder the movement at all, and I love that design choice. The sculpting of the arms is great as well, a lot of these wrinkles, and then his gloves with more of these silver painted details, and down at his legs we have these pouches and even more wrinkles on the pants, and then we have these silver mechanic legs that are practically the same as the ones on the latest release, the Gaming Greats Old Master Maul, but these are a bit more matte, and we'll compare the two soon. But yeah, everything on this guy looks beautiful. Let's now take a look at his accessories, and Maul does come with only one accessory that is separated in two parts, and that is of course his double-bladed lightsaber that, as I said, comes in two pieces, and the blades are removable and the hilts look really good. You can see a lot of sculpted texture on this one, and some of the details are painted in black, and here we can see the peg hole for connecting two hilts together. And then this other hilt has some great sculpting as well. We have these buttons painted in red and the peg for connection, and another peg here for connecting the hilt to his belt. And all in all, a great sculpt and a nice reflective silver paint for the hilt. As I said, two hilts can be connected and then you get them as one huge hilt. The connection is nice and secure, and so the whole double-bladed lightsaber looks really good. Let's now take a look at his articulation. The head is on a ball joint and then there is another joint at the base of the neck, and so the head has a free range of movement. He can look down this much, back this much, he can move side to side, and the head can rotate 360. We have a butterfly joint. As I already said, this is a separate piece that gets out of the way when you rotate the arm, and the arm rotates 360. Arms move out this much. The elbow bend is better than 90 degrees and it swivels. The wrists have that up and and down joint, and it's the same on both hands. We have a cut in the torso that gives us a bit of a tilt and a great side movement. He crunches forward this much, back this much, legs move out this much, we have a thigh swivel, legs move forward this much, back this much, knees bend this much and they rotate, the ankles move forward this much, back this much, and we have a great ankle swivel, and the pec holes at the bottom of his feet. I have to say that the only thing that I'm not a fan of on this type of figure, and I had the same issue with the old Master Gaming Grade Small, it's the feet. These types of feet that have those clicking points in the ankles, I'm not a fan of that, because for some reason this foot is fine, but this one you can't hit that point that you want because it's like it has some kind of ratchet inside. You can fix the position only in those specific spots that they want you. Anything in between will be a problem. And you hear that clicking? That's it. As I said, I had the same issue with the old Master Maul, but the problem has to be in the design itself, and there isn't much that you can do about it. So I just wanted to point that out. Let's now compare our Clone Wars Darth Maul with some other figures. Here he is with the Black Series newest Darth Maul, Gaming Grades Battlefront 2 Old Master version, and the Black Series comic book Sith Apprentice version of Darth Maul. And as you can see, 3 different versions, 3 different costumes, and the head of this Clone Wars Maul is different than these two. And now you can see it even better. These two guys have the same head sculpt with small differences in the paint, and this one is completely different. It is much slimmer, but the darker tone is similar to the Sith Apprentice Maul. Old Master Maul has much more vibrant tone of red, and that's something that is better seen in person. I'm not so sure that camera is picking that up, but yeah, those are some differences. And I have to say that out of all these 3 Mauls, I like the Clone Wars version the best. We all have our preferences, of course, but for me, this is the best Black Series Maul to date. And let's just take a quick look at his legs, and we can see that this is the same sculpt, the same pants with these same pouches, but these are black and these are brown, and then the lower part of his legs, the mechanic robotic legs, are the same sculpt as well. On the old Master, the color is much more vibrant, metallic, reflective, and it looks much better than this dull color that they gave to this Clone Wars Maul. Next, here is our Clone Wars Maul with the Black Series bootleg from AliExpress of the first Darth Maul that we had in the Black Series line, and this is Episode 1 Phantom Menace Darth Maul, but as I said, this is a KO, a knockoff, a bootleg from AliExpress. It's actually one of the first bootlegs that I ever got, because back in the day, original Darth Maul was so expensive to find on the secondary market that I decided to get this KO, because the KO at the time was really good. It looked almost identical to the original and came with all the accessories that the original comes with. So yeah, I still have this bootleg, and I never got that original because from the time when it was released, we had so many other Darth Maul versions that are far superior to that first Black Series one, or the KO. And then here on the other side we have the SH Figure Arts Episode 1 The Phantom Menace Darth Maul, and this is still to this day, at least for me, the definitive, the best 6-inch Darth Maul that was ever made. Here he is with the Black Series Captain Rex and Season 7 Ahsoka Tano, and these two go great together. Even though this Ahsoka is kind of too tall, she should be just a bit shorter, but they do look great together, and in my posing video I'll be posing these two going against each other, and that's the thing about which I'm excited the most. I waited all this time just to get these two in the same shot and to pose them together, so stay tuned for that. Next, here he is with the Black Series Ahsoka Trooper and the Black Series KO or Custom Apple 501st Clone Trooper from AliExpress. Here he is with the Black Series Clone Wars version of Anakin and Obi-Wan. And finally, here is how he looks like with the SH Figure Arts Revenge of the Sith Anakin and Obi-Wan Kenobi. So all in all, this is a fantastic Black Series Season 7 of the Clone Wars Darth Maul. As you can see, he can grip the Darksaber with no issues at all, and this is the Darksaber that came with Moff Gideon, and you can pose him on your shelf like this as well. I should also mention that this method of connecting the hilt to his belt is not that great. The hole is not so deep. I would even say that there isn't any hole at all. It's a sculpted piece that has a small space on the inside, and you can connect the hilt to it, but it is kind of flimsy and it can fall off fairly easily. The connection is not as good as you would expect. I feel like the hilt is large anyway, and it doesn't look so good storage like this anyway. So I feel like this won't be the option for me. I won't be posing him like this on my shelf. I don't know, it looks too big. It looks like some kind of music instrument. So this is not an option for me. And so finally, again, I have to say that this is such a beautiful Darth Maul figure. For me, definitely the best Darth Maul in the Black Series line. The sculpt looks beautiful, the proportions and silhouette is on point. He looks menacing. When you tilt his head down just a small bit like this, he looks even better. Lightsaber looks great as well. On the other side, some minuses for me are the way that you have to connect the hilt to his belt. I feel like that's not the best design ever, and those feet, I really don't like the way that they designed those ankle joints, those clicking points and skipping of some positions. That can be a problem for posing, because the ankle joints are probably the most important articulation point for dynamic posing. But on the other hand, I already posed the Old Master Gaming Grades Darth Maul, and if you want you can check that video, it's on the channel. I have a review for that figure and the posing as well. That figure had even more issues with his ankles, but I managed to work with that, and I was happy with what I got out of his posing. So I'm sure I'll have the same amount of fun, or even more fun, with this version of Maul, because this is the one that I was waiting for. That said, stay tuned for a posing video for this guy, don't miss it. I hope that you'll find a lot of great posing ideas in that video for your own shelf. Now, I would really like to hear you guys. What do you think about this Clone Wars version of Darth Maul? Do you agree with me that this is the best Black Series Maul, or do you prefer one of the other Mauls that we got in this line of action figures? Let me know down in the comments. Thank you all for watching and for being here with me, and I'll see ya in the next video.